sound like Critical Role. What they do in
I'm
Madeline.
sure those guys are nice, but I think you guys are cooler. So done deal.
Oh, we're getting sappy, and we just barely started.
Hey, I'm the Warforged with a heart. What can I say?
Oh, I'm the wizard.
He's hoping that the first time Matt attacks or Ben attacks the party, that he's gonna attack somebody else because Lee was so nice.
I don't know, man. Lee's armor class is way high. So
You take it's called tactics, man. You do what you got to do.
All right,
armor class like that, the challenge.
we
Very good.
are live.
Live. All right. Welcome everybody to Streams of Spero, episode 21. A little bit of magic. A little research for this, considering all my work time that I've got going on. It's crazy. I am Benito. I am joined by Rico, my brother, who's playing Ju Shang, Lee Winika playing Hephaestus Kenrick, Glenn Meyer playing Zindrid Zinovelia, and Jacob Foreman playing Firebrand. And off camera right now is Matt Wild playing our favorite Warlock. I remember the
showing you your favorite.
I gotta look at my other script.
Our favorite Warlock, whatever the name.
Been a while.
Our favorite.
In his defense, chat, he's got like 15 different games going on.
Yeah, I do have a lot of games going on. I got a lot of work going on, and now there's all like a lot of characters in here too. The whole screen full of them. We, if you remember, the party has found themselves now having left the Drow city. Once they thought once we're going to stop a ritual to this goddess Silk, they find themselves in league with it. And not only have they done that, they brought new members of the Zinvilia family, most exclusively as our friend Glenn here, who's playing Zindrid, who is our paladin of not of Silk, but a goddess that is also allying with Silk, the Raven Queen. And she's a champion paladin of that, and brought a whole bunch of good people with her. Looks like we lost now. And so we've got Jerez Tas, Lura Karan, and Rydal Olal of her order with her. And then she also brought her cousin, who is a priestess of Silk, Nashami, as well. And then, of course, we have our two other NPCs, Pepper and Vivian, who have been with the party for a while. You're all under St. Augustine in the dark, in the deep in the mountains, in a lair of a gold dragon known as Glitter, who seems to be a friend of everybody, because Aurora has helped you and is doing a little bit of research for you. Plus, you are waiting for Firebrand, who stayed behind in the city for a moment just to learn a few more spells, so he should be arriving in a day or so. So that pretty much leaves all you guys at camp. What we have going on pretty much is Rydell will be setting up a campfire, cooking some food. Everybody else is kind of like hovering around. Some tents have been erected, so you guys can chill out. You guys can kind of figure out who you want to talk to. You basically now have four dark elves amongst your, five dark elves amongst your party that you really don't know. They all seem to know each other, but you don't know them. They don't know you very well. So I don't know if there's any ground rules or whatever you want to talk about.
We would probably be not standoffish. We're not trying to be per se, but cliquish. Because, I mean, obviously as Drow, we're not used to working with other races, though that is something we're trying to head towards. Basically, she started off a little bit harsh, but she's not trying to stay that way. She's just not good at not being that way.
Right. Well, Nashimi will stay close to you. Rydell is not too far. He's manning the fire because he's kind of used to doing a lot of the camp duties. Laura, aka Shadow Smite, pretty much is hard to find. She doesn't like sticking around with anybody, but she doesn't really stick around with you anyways.
She dodges work. I understand.
Yeah, kind of like her habit. She likes to go off in the shadows and do her own thing and stuff. Dress is just kind of standing guard duty. She's not too far, but she's also not avoiding anybody, but she's just kind of like perimeter. And the other two girls, Pepper and Vivian, are just kind of like hanging out in tents, I suppose, with the rest of the party. And you guys have choices what you want to do.
So. Unless it's time for me to guard, I will definitely be with Vivian, making sure everything's okay and kind of getting her take on our new party members.
You don't really need a guard because you have a gold dragon protecting you right now.
In that case, I'll just
Really
hang with
nice gold
Vivian.
dragon.
Yeah, he senses way more than he needs out of you guys.
So,
It's quite the watchdog.
yeah.
What?
Yeah, so definitely with Vivian, I'll just ask her. I'm like, so with our new companions, we're gonna have to make acquaintances and get a good idea of how they work and start building friendships. Do you have any insight as to whom we should try to work with first?
Well, I guess you can talk to the one working the fire because he seems to be more out in front right now.
Who's working the fire?
Right out.
That sounds like a good plan. So I will go collect some wood and then bring it to Ride Out.
How long since we left the Underdark?
I'll say a few hours.
So this is pretty early on.
Yeah. Basically, Firebrand has not showed up, so Jacob's not here. And Aurora, who you spoke to, went off for a little bit. She said she would return. Okay, so you approach Badal. He looks up at you.
Trying to do my part to help.
Oh, no problem. I'm used to taking care of the duties here.
Do
Old
they,
times. Old
do they
tradition.
do they usually have you do that on your own, or
Things could be changing, but again, it's old tradition. The women don't usually do the camp duties.
I can see I've seen the need for traditions to change in other ways. Soldier of the armed forces for a very long time, so traveling with an adventuring band who are friends rather than other soldiers has differences.
It's all good. Also, part two is those two. He kind of leans his head toward Zindrid and Nashami. He's like, they're also first house noble, so you also have to give that type of respect.
Certainly, we all have our superiors on some level or another.
You'll
You
be
sound,
patient with her. Zindrid is, you got to remember, she has just a lot of pressure on her.
you sound like you may be one who has been wanting these changes long before they came to your doorstep.
They're good, but I'm used to being a tough ass soldier.
I respect tough ass soldiers.
It's what we do.
Yes. So, like the others, you are a paladin.
I am now.
And what were you before such days?
Warrior, front line.
Hmm. I was as well. As you can tell by my shield over there and my choice of weapons, the spear or the glaive. My job was to be in front, to be the one who takes the hits and delivers the damage.
Then we are kindred.
We are. Well met. Hephaestus. Designation HK.
But Olal, of no real known house, just a soldier.
Excellent. Well, when this is done, we'll forge a name. You'll have a house. It'll be yours.
I have the order now. Things are good.
Excellent.
We are serving the Raven Queen in her glory.
Then I shall help you achieve those goals as a comrade in arms. With that, I'll pass the time with small talk, just talking about techniques, trying to just get an idea of kind of like how he likes to fight, whether he leans right versus left. So I have a better insight as to how to complement his fighting style. I'm less worried about other people complementing my fighting style, but more how I can adapt my techniques to fit theirs. So since he's an upfront fighter, I assume we'll likely be together. So I just want to kind of get that idea and then offer some insight as to what I do, what I can contribute, what we've seen in the past, specifically how Jew and I work well together, that type of thing, and offering in how Firebrand offers support and Oleski offers support. So he has an idea of kind of what we have been doing. So fighter to fighter, we can figure out ways for us to cohese.
Okay,
I'll sit in on that.
Vendred,
You gonna sit on that too?
Yeah.
All right, then I'll give you first give me perception at advantage.
Both of us.
Nope, Hephaestus, you're helping him because he's kind of like the first one engaged with it.
Okay, one moment. Perception at advantage.
Yeah.
$25.
Okay.
That's a nat 20, by the way.
Oh, that's very good. Also give me an insight check, also advantage.
21. Also a nat 20.
Are you serious?
wow.
I'm serious. Like, hang on.
Yeah, no, it popped up on my D&D.
It is right here. Like, who does that? With,
All right, so really awesome. All right, so basically,
Yeah,
as
you know
look,
whether or not he was a breech birth. Shit.
he really wants to know. You're gonna put dark elves amongst my company. I'm gonna pay attention to this. All right. So as you look around, Radal and Jares are not too far, but you also see Zindrid and Nashimi. The thing that pretty much instantly comes out of pretty much what you're kind of getting out of them is they all seem to be very capable veterans. You're not seeing anything new about it. Nashimi is probably about the only one who seems more to loss at the campsite, but she does seem very competent with her with what she represents. Rydell's blade is enchanted. Jares's bow is enchanted. And Nashimi's mace is enchanted. Plus, they also have some very well custom armor, each of them. Zindrid's weapon is radiating magic. I mean, it is not only enchanted, but a force that you feel the presence of strongly. You don't see Laura. Now that you kind of noticed that, she seems to be the one that disappears the most. She doesn't even seem to keep much company with the other two. Rydell definitely seems like he is the backbone of the group because he does a lot of the duties that you notice. The women seem very comfortable with him. He takes care of a lot of the stuff kind of going around. He's an older vet, maintaining a lot of the camp duties that you basically see, but he's definitely got a lot of battle scars on him. He's very seasoned. He does everything very quickly, very neatly, very efficiently. So you've seen he's got a lot of practice to what he's done. But again, he doesn't offset for as rugged as he looks. Lies, he's very. The women all seem to be very ease about him. He doesn't have any other type of disconnect with them at all. They seem very relaxed around the company. Jares seems to be the owl, more or less, or the watchdog of the group. She likes to do a lot of perimeter walking around. She's bow is usually always kind of in hand. She does a lot of outskirts looking. She's been checking around all over the gold and all the stuff laying around. She hasn't taken anything. She doesn't seem to be caring much about that aspect, but she definitely starts to. She's always looking around. She always seems to like want to know where things are on the ground. She comes once in a while. She'll walk back to Zindrid and Nashimi, but she doesn't stay too long. She seems to let those two do what they want to do. Zindrid and Nashimi seem to be the closest of the pairing. Nashimi hasn't really left Zindrid's side very much, even though Zindrid hasn't maybe talked to her constantly. she'll still kind of hang around and stuff. And if she's not paying attention, or Zin's not paying attention to her, she's allotted to her some books and some scrolls and taking notes and scribbling things down and stuff. But she seems to be taking everything in, but making sure she's cataloging some things and of that sort. So they seem to be very practiced, all of them for what they are and what they represent. You will notice that Jerez is a very capable archer. She seems to have a lot of enchantments around her ability, and you're able quickly to guess that she's probably an arcane archer. And you know Nashimi's faith is arcana for a priest, and Rydell seems to be, the way he talks and the way he seems to carry on about some of his tales, you get the fact that he's a capable barbarian, so he can take a lot of much like Jew, he's going to be able to do half damage, stuff like that, along with their ability to do a lot of spot healing because they're all paladins. So you get a pretty much good capable sense that this is a very, very, very capable and well outfitted band. This is even, they're much stronger than the gamblers with the amount of equipment that they possess.
Yeah, the gamblers were a tier two kind of support group. This is clearly ready to rock tier 3.
The only thing I would say is Nashimi is definitely body wise will be considered very frail to you, even at being very seasoned what she is at 24 hit points. She is very, very glass cannon type of thing. She can hit pretty hard, you think, but if anyone picks her out, she can probably be in a lot of trouble.
Okay.
Well, her standing orders would always be at least 30 feet behind folks.
Yeah.
You're there to heal, move forward only if you have to.
But you are seasoned drow, and that's how drow tend to go after. They're looking for people like her. So she's usually pretty close to Zindrid or maybe Jerez is how they seem to be. But again, you gotta be very, she is your now main cleric besides Aleski, who has other variations of the warlock. So if you're trying to use some of her, just gotta be a little wary that she's susceptible to heavy damage.
All right.
As HK had walked up, Zendrid would have noted and been watching, but made no move to approach. Just wanted to see how Rildan handled the interaction with the Warforged.
Yeah, you feel pretty positive about it. I mean, he's pretty practiced. Like I said,
He seemed comfortable and at ease, and like he was just carrying on between two soldiers, and that was a good thing to her. She thought it was a good way for them to start mixing.
All right. Jill, what would you like to do?
I'd like to unmute myself is what I'd like to do. Find the right mouse to use. Mostly just sitting in on the conversation with HK and Rydell for the same reasons.
Now we know I was muted.
No. Mostly for the same reasons of if and when we get into the next battle, I want to know what everybody's strengths are, who's going to be in the front lines with HK and I, and what their tendencies might be, so we can leverage that more than anything.
Okay.
Leaving out the part of, issues that I've had in the past with people getting in my brain.
You pretty much most of the Raven Guard here, they are pretty straightforward. You're pretty much assuming Laura will be somewhere, that she's probably a little the X factor. Jerez is your archer. Rydell is definitely on the front lines with you. Nashimi, again, you probably don't want her there, but she is a lot of the extra support you're going to be looking for. You're not sure about their leader though. Zindrid hasn't quite demonstrated or talked much about what she's a lot alike, but she is the team leader. And you all able to, because of Hephaestus, pick out that she is pure paladin. That's a lot of that aura that you're feeling, and the strange, comforting support mystery that kind of emits out of her just by being nearby to her. Do you wish to pursue an interaction with her or no?
I think we all well. Alaron, yours are. Who the hell's the leader of our group? Alaron,
Not here.
you're the leader.
I'm not there,
Not
but
here. Yeah. Shoot.
You
Okay.
left them behind.
Yeah, I'll go over to where Zindred is, and I'll try to indicate to Oleski that I'm walking over and see if he wants to join in. Psst. Very subtle.
so you really want to bring somebody else to do the talking? Is what you're saying?
We all know I'm not the best communicator out of our group.
Drew's using his stealth and deception at maximum capacity right now to get somebody else to do the face work.
The natural disadvantage for you. Can't help it.
I was going to spend time communing with my god, but I guess I'll take the hint.
Uh-oh.
I-
All right, so
I-
Zithrid, the barbarian, the human barbarian, and the very pretty human-looking Oleski now approach you and Nashimi.
Handsome, handsome,
Handsome.
suave, debonair. Pretty? Come on.
Come on.
What a handsome Oleski. You're muted.
Say it again.
Which means you missed me saying, I note his request for backup and am amused. Or Zendrid does. But she stands up as they approach, when the last few paces, and extends her hand. Clearly they were coming to talk to her, so she's not trying to be intimidating. But she's
Okay.
got a little wry smile that she noticed him beckoning for backup as they came up.
Okay. So she's smiling.
It's a backup.
Nashimi
Wingman.
takes a bit of a step back, so Zindrid has more of the focal point of you two.
It's Zhu and Oleski, right?
Yes.
Excellent.
So I just wanted to chat with you a little bit on kind of where your mind is with your group on our next steps. Obviously, we've got a lot of people here now that we're bringing together. So things might get a little hectic. So
Quite the endeavor.
I just want to, and obviously Firebrand would normally probably be the one having this conversation as our leader, but he's not here. But just trying to get
so far.
just trying to get everybody on the same page. I'd much prefer to do it in a setting like this, as opposed to on the battlefield where we're stepping on each other and everything. So, just trying to get an idea of where you see our next steps in this adventure.
Well, my liege lady, the Raven Queen, has bid me assist you in your quest because it will accomplish the same goal that we're after, which is helping her break free into this realm uncontained. So
Still
I will
wrapping
do
my head around
anything and
that.
everything I can to assist you in your mission.
And as far as that mission, is there any other intel that you can provide with who we might run into? I know last we spoke, there was talk of a few extras, bosses, mini bosses, whatever that correct term is supposed to be, that we could potentially run into. But I didn't know if you knew in the direction that we'll be heading, if there's any other bumps in the road we might come across that we should be wary of.
Fair, but as I just joined and I'm still kind of catching up on what you're expecting so far, what do you anticipate currently as being your main obstacles or stumbling blocks.
Well, with the current retrieval, if you will, of the bloodstone, we need to return to the Fey courts and deliver that item to the queen. And that puts us in contention with the Winter Court. They may want to stop us before we can arrive.
And once we're on their territory, that's the odds are definitely in their favor. If we're actually going to the Feywild.
Yes, Firebrand has the means to deliver us to the court immediately, but we may not want to use that. HK may want to chime in on that, depending upon the travel time it'll take from here to get there.
Okay. The main information that I have in terms of what we're up against, so let me know if I'm missing anything, is that I know that Dark Sun has been aided by the Unseelie Queen, and that Dark Sun is affiliated with Hades, who wants to cage my lady, the Raven Queen. So obviously not a good guy.
Yes, the Queen of the Winter Court has the last remaining element of the ritual for us to retrieve at some point and prevent the ritual from completing.
Are you suggesting then that when you say the Queen of the Winter Court and I say the Unseelie Queen, are we speaking of the same person?
Yes.
So then if she is aiding Dark Sun and he is affiliated with Hades, who is opposed to what we're doing, is she actually on our side?
The turn of the last few sands in the glass have really kind of convoluted this entire situation. We went to encounter your family with the idea that we were disrupting the ritual by taking the ritual component from them, and that your family is in league with the Winter Court, the Unseelie Queen. So please pardon our confusion as we try to redefine the channels that we have to pass through to move forward in our quest here.
Well, whenever
But
the divine world mixes with the mortal world, it is destined to become cloudy.
So at this point, we are still anticipating, at least in my mind, the Queen of the Winter Court to be oppositional to us, whether she is oppositional to Hades or not, or in that regards, I don't know.
Okay.
But
I thought you were indicating that she was an ally, and I agree that she's the opposition.
no, she has the third component of the ritual, as we understand it,
Sure.
that we've been trying to gather the components to prevent their use. So Firebrand and HK and Zhu are aligned with the two positive courts of the Fae that we've encountered so far, the summer and spring, I believe, right?
Jew's not aligned. It's Pepper.
Not me.
Yeah, HK and Firebrand are summer, and Pepper is spring.
Spring. So we, as I understand it, we consider the fall and winter courts opposition. No matter who else they're aligned with, they are oppositional to us. So if we don't use instantaneous means to return to the summer court, then I expect we can see encounters with them before our arrival to the summer court in a overland travel manner.
And why do we not want to return via this instant time-saving method of transport?
We only have it once.
Limited use.
Gotcha.
So if we don't need to use it, we may not want to, and keep it in reserve for, emergency need.
How close is our timetable?
We don't have a timetable. Or I should say the timetable was as long as it took us to get to your family, retrieve the item, and get back to the summer court. So it went much faster than we expected.
But there was a huge curveball as a part of that, as you mentioned.
So we're, I believe, ahead of the curve time wise. But now,
Clearly, because I would hate to have killed you if you tried to take it from my family.
now we're encountering muddied waters. So we're seeking the correct path now.
Well, as the fates have pointed us in the same direction, then allies we shall be.
So I think we'll get, and Firebrand would be the one to confirm this for the most part. HK may be able to, but I believe our next direction would generally be given to us by the Queen of the Summer Court, as she was kind of coordinating our efforts to stop the ritual.
I think that'll be an interesting conversation because of the curveball that we've encountered on our way to what we thought was stopping the ritual. On now, things have changed, allies have changed, so I think the conversation, and again, this is a conversation for Firebrand and HK, might be a little bit different.
Truth.
So, so at this point, I think our
Fluffy, thank you for the host.
destination is the Summer Court, and that's where we'll get clarification of what we need to do or where we need to go next.
What the next step is to stop Hades from being able to bind the Raven Queen as she summoned.
Yes.
Then why would we not take the most expeditious means back?
We may want to, but it's not something that I can affect. That's Firebrand when he returns.
And clearly we would want to leave him anyway.
So
Absolutely. Well met. I'm glad to name you among my companions, and once again, very pleased that we did not have to face each other on opposite ends of the battlefield. So I thank your curveball, and
It's been favorable for sure.
indeed. She sticks her hand out to shake.
I am now going to find some alcohol. This gold dragon must have some somewhere.
I will. It's a hesitation, but I will shake.
She notices the hesitation, but grasps
Yeah.
firmly, but not, warmly.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a hesitation. It's not a small one. It's a hesitation.
New alliances are tough. They can be very hard. I understand.
I apologize. I went to your city with a goal in mind and found that my goal had been accomplished before my arrival, but not in the way I intended. And I'm not sure how favorable that change is.
If I understand you correctly, only time will tell, and I feel the same way from that front. I think the changes going on in my society have been long overdue. It's no thrill or joy to be born a drow. Hopefully, it will all turn out for the better, but all things, when they roll forward, have a chance of going awry. But my lady, the Raven Queen, will help ensure that they do not.
We'll see.
Indeed, we will.
She steps forward a little bit and she goes, "May we ask what your goal was?"
Is it not clear?
My goal was to provide your culture with the view that Loth was not the only option, but more so to give your culture a chance to show that they're not the evil people that everyone believes they are. In my conversations with Ubin, I learned that in general, your people haven't even tried to change perception of this overarching evil nature um, among all your people. Um, let's use the word monochromatic in the sense that everybody else's opinion of your people is generally the same. The viewpoint is the drow are evil. And from Ubin's point of view, I understood that none of you have even wanted that perception to change. So I was going to your city hoping to provide the point of view and the perception that if they wanted people to see them differently, they could make that happen.
Zendrit extends her
And
hand again.
Thank you for being truthful.
well, not so much a hesitation, but a slow acceptance kind of handshake. You know, the
She takes your hand she closes
Yeah.
her other hand around it and says, I apologize. I misjudged you. I assumed you only came to save us from ourselves out of arrogance. But listening to you speak, it's clearly out of compassion. You came with honest intentions. And my uncle, I love him dearly. He taught me the blade, and he's one of the most people I know in my life. You are worthy to be my companion. You came as a hero. And so that is what I will call you, hero.
no,
And I
I'm
let
not
go
a
of your
hero,
hand.
but my grandfather decrees me to eradicate evil in this land. But I feel the best way to eradicate evil is to change it so that it removes the onus of evil itself.
Sometimes it's not the people that are evil, but simply the practices that have been forced on them for millennia. And given enough time, they will change on their own.
And that is what I hoped. And that's what I said from Ubin's conversation. Your people just haven't even tried to show the other cultures that even some of you aren't wholly dedicated to evil. And that's what I was hoping to spark, was that desire to let other people realize there's more to your people than evil. And when we arrived, that change is occurring through a religious path that I'm honestly still unsure if your queen is not evil.
Well, I will forgive you for that, simply because how could you know all? As I will also forgive you the arrogance to think that you have the right to judge for my people and all of the other peoples because of your intent, hero. And I still name you thus.
So hopefully we move forward and this change is positive.
I hope so as well. She's not a hugger. I mean, if you're holding out for a hug. Sorry, that was a joke.
All right.
Come on, bring
Oh
it.
man, that was awkward. I was no.
Reached in, she backed up.
one
I
armed
got-
you, just
I
one
got
arm.
you, Ben.
Right,
Just
right.
one arm.
All right. So basically, you guys start just kind of like selling. You kind of relax. Um, the, pretty much your event, the day really kind of passes by. You're just kind of waiting for 5 grand to get some training in. And really, unless you guys are trying to do anything else.
After the last exchange, a little bit later, Zendrid would have approached Hephaestus simply to apologize for the metal madness of it all in the beginning.
Okay.
So she started with that. I apologize. I have great respect for the Warforged, but I've never met one before, and I'm having trouble wrapping my mind around a sentient construct. I apologize.
We are all a bit unusual in this world, and I probably more so than most. My journey to where I am today began with my death. It followed with my journeying with my friends, my companions, and that had changed me. However, upon meeting and joining the ranks of the summer court, it was changed even further. And finally, upon meeting my fair Vivian, I have become something completely different. I am not what I once was. So I think it would be unfair and potentially unwise to judge all Warforged by judging me as you have met me today. But I would think it'd be fair to say that the potential for each individual Warforged is limitless.
Nashimi touches your arm, Zindrid, and she goes, "My lady, my goddess, likes this one. He is favored by her."
Oh,
And she kind of steps back for a bit.
even my companions sing your praises, so clearly you will be a worthy companion. Tell me, do you bleed?
There is fluid that flows from me if I am wounded.
Then once we have bled together, I am sure that we will be much more understanding of each other.
I can promise you I would be willing to sacrifice thusly. I can also promise you I am not often struck by my enemies.
Even better. For as long as you stay standing, there's less for me to have to fight.
True, true.
Not
My
that I
sheet,
couldn't, mind you.
my
but
my I point to my tower shield, which is not terribly far from where I am, but I'm not carrying it with me around camp. But my shield is part of what keeps me thusly defended. But my greatest weapon of defense, as well as my greatest weapon to deal damage to my enemies, is working in concert with my company.
Our best defense is a good offense.
Indeed, and that's wise. I often find that most warriors reach for their hilt when they are asked what their greatest weapon is, but the one who stands beside you is the more sure weapon, tool. Lost where I was going with that.
But now goes, "Well, don't let Laura hear you say that."
There is nothing wrong with a warrior who is ready with a weapon at hand. Preparation is a superior tactic.
Sometimes overrated, though.
I believe it is written in the book,
I
the in the
was
book,
waiting for that.
the battle hymns. Preparation. It is the only way to know what is coming. Tactics the only way to be successful when it gets there.
Tactics are always important in any fight, but spending too much time worrying about planning. As an aged drow philosopher once said, when blood has been spilled and your blood boils, their blood is the only answer.
There's truth in that as well. I have less worries after this particular night at the fire about our next battles than I had when we got here.
Ha!
And that's a good thing.
But I will go. I hear of your tactics, HK. But it is said in our society, use them too often, and the spider knows where to put its web.
Mm.
Old saying about that.
I've been in that web. They're not wrong.
Mhm.
As I have said before this evening, there is truth in that.
Mm.
Well met. And I clang you on the shoulder because you'll make a good clang, right?
I will make an exceptional clang.
Nice.
So basically your night goes, again, you are protected by the dragon, so things are good. You will get, but you don't know when the morning really comes. You just assume that it will be clockwork because you guys are all seasoned soldiers. So pretty much your own internal clock wakes you up in about 8 hours. Of course, the dark elves all get up rather early because they don't need that long of sleep. So about 4, and the HK about the same. So June and Oleski really are the late sleepers with the ladies, Vivian and Pepper. So HK, you pretty much will have the early morning rise with the order,
Okay.
and it's pretty much the same routine.
Yep.
JR's kind of doing perimeters, just kind of watching things and kicking coins around a little bit here and there, quietly though. Rydell making breakfast, and the other two noble ladies, communicating a bit, probably looking over a little map or something or whatever, discussing things. And again, you don't know where Laura went. She hasn't really been showing up much.
So I will collect some wood, but what I will try to do is go to the opposite perimeter, opposite the perimeter of wherever I am seeing Duress. So if she's off to the right, I will go off camp to the left to collect wood
Mm-hmm.
and bring that in to Rydell. And then by the time I do that, I would expect she'd be circling around to the right. So I would go to the opposite end, effectively filling a gap wherever she's not. I will be at that basically opposite her. So my collecting wood is also a means of taking watch or
Alright.
helping her with the watch.
Give me a perception check while you go out to go get wood the first time.
Sure. That was a performance roll. I hit the wrong button. I got fat fingers. Damn, that was a good roll though.
Yeah, that would have been
20.
nice.
That would have been beautiful.
Need that one.
Perception. Let's see. Yeah, I really wanted the other roll.
Ooh, that's awful. That's awful. Okay, so all of a sudden you're grabbing a couple. I mean, it's hard. There's not many wood in the dragon's cave, so it's a bit of a search. You have to go about a little bit there. As you pick up like the third block of wood, all of a sudden there's just a shadow right above your vision. You didn't hear it, you didn't see her, but Laura is right in your face, like crouching where you're crouching to pick up wood.
But I recognize it's Laura. Correct?
Yeah, she's not hiding from you now, but she did to get near you.
Okay.
And then
I will do my absolute best to not look startled.
give me a deception check.
That's going to be a 21.
Yeah. All right. So you're looking. I mean, you're also a warport, so
Yeah.
you're pretty stoic.
And I'll just simply say, good morning. Will you be joining us for breakfast? And then I'll stand to my full upright position, as tall as my 7 foot and change frame will be.
She's
Watch your check.
she's light. I mean, she's elf, so you have quite the height on her. But she's athletic. You can tell she's very firm. And you see a lot of little different pouches, scales and stuff like that all around her. She goes, no. Well-fed spiders eat early in the morning.
I see.
So, you fought in the wars, I hear.
I did.
So how do you feel walking with us now?
A soldier like I am understands that the soldiers that I fought were not the architects or the rulers that brought about those wars. They're just professionals. The fact that I now am part of the decision making as to the battles and the wars I fight means I can choose honorable people to fight alongside. Fighting alongside Zindred's uncle was one of the greatest and wisest decisions I ever made when I started having personal choice.
But do you like to kill? Did you like killing dark elves in the war?
I never liked killing. I am good at war. It was the thing I was built for.
So you just like to fight?
I think words such as like don't do a good job of describing it. When one has a purpose and one has a duty, they feel fulfilled when doing it. That doesn't mean they enjoy it. I seek to find the things that I enjoy in life. But right now, protecting my friends, the common people of this world, even those that I formerly fought against, is where I'm finding my fulfillment. I am more about protecting those around me than maiming or killing the enemy in front of me. When I do what I have to do, I will do it. And I'll do it as a professional. But please don't ever confuse that with me liking it.
I want to know what you were. I've not interacted with your type before, warforges. They've always been servant soldiers to the dwarves.
Most of us are. I was at one point. But I'm different. I died fighting those wars. I stand before you because of reasons I don't think I'll ever know. And I think that has changed me. So while I have seen a different light, that doesn't necessarily mean every warforge has or will. So as your comrade, bear that in mind. Treat us all individually. Trust or deal with each individual as that.
Oh, I'll deal with you. Don't think I want that much insight in you. That's Zindred's job. Just stay out of my way and let me play with my prey. I do love to fight. I like to hurt things. She drills back in the shadows. Just disappears from view.
That's fine. Then I will say, as I reach over to pick up another piece of wood with a full arm load, then I hope you listen to your orders from those who will tell you when it is time to and when it is time to stop. And then I will walk back with no fear, no hesitation. I will turn my back to where I think she may or may not be.
Okay. Dress will see you come in, nodding.
Good morning. I set some more wood down.
Al goes, thank you.
Your companion is dedicated to her art. and her craft.
Oh, Laura? Yeah, she's fucking nuts. But don't let your boys get enthralled by her. Kind of pulls out his side of things. She's real rough. She bites hard.
Whoa.
You're better off with our Jerez. You should warn them. She will try.
I'm taken. And I will go off and get some more wood.
You're messy. They're flesh. All right. Jerez seems to have heard that and smiles. As well as the noble ladies. Rael's not quiet about it. He's pretty bold with his comment about his companion.
Too bad I wasn't there to hear that warning.
Yeah, that's a no to you, Firebrand. That's a flat freaking no.
I didn't hear
Oops.
You're gonna hear it.
How that plays out.
You're gonna have an HK sized boot holding you in place.
All right, as things are kind of settling in, basically HK, you find Vivian is not well.
Oh, that's not good.
Not have a very unsettled stomach. She's had to go out to the campsite, throw up a little bit.
Okay. I will attempt to comfort her and I'll bring her some water.
Okay. Kind of will stay in the tent. She just says, I don't know what's going on. I don't feel very well.
Can we? Do you think maybe some tea will help?
Suppose. Sure.
I'll get you some tea.
Okay.
Damn.
Oh, sorry. All right. So what are you doing, man? You got make right. We'll help you make tea. I mean, there's one thing going on.
Just some tea and something for some bread or something for her to eat that should hopefully settle her stomach.
Sure.
Hey, real quick, with all the rest and stuff sitting around, we should be back max HP and everything.
Yes, you got a full rest. Everyone can hit full rest. It will recharge all your hit points and the abilities.
Yeah, and also the party, if you missed it, everybody gets 8 temporary hit points now when they start the day, starting around Alexi. So.
Cool. All right. Anyone else wish to start the day with anything?
Does that temp HP go on top of your normal HP, or does that only get you to your max?
You should be able to.
Nope, on top of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I see the little
And
bar
how-
over here. I just want to make sure.
How much temp at HP?
8.
8. Okay.
Sweet.
All right.
A little bit of study and prayer to the Raven Queen, probably some sword forms.
Okay. Give me a D20 roll, 100.
Oh, wait. Just a standard 20?
Yep.
Clackety, clackety, clack. 4.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Get some of the bad ones out of the way. This was just in the case that something you may have gotten a prophecy a little early, but things seem to be very quiet for you. So.
Now slept on a root or something though, and I'm having trouble working this out kink out of my shoulder.
Yeah, you are used to fine beds right now. You know, out in the wild, it's been a little while since you've had a campaign.
Roughing it.
So, roughing it again.
Welcome to the real world.
She's always been like this. A tavern bed is.
I'll lay on a pile of gold next to a dragon. I don't care.
All right. So nothing else. Anyone want to rekindle anything or check on anything or warn anybody of anything?
Warn anybody.
I will definitely quietly just pass on, specifically to Zhu, also to Alexei privately, um, that they should be wary of Laura's advances.
Okay.
And if they have questions, to check with Ryland. He'll be happy to advise them thusly.
Noted.
You have you basically still have, unless anyone wants to do anything, you have a couple of days until Firebrand shows back up. So
Right.
be very similar to camping out, hanging out, unless you guys want something to basically go over. I will speed it up. And
Yeah.
Firebrand should.
Yeah, I would say just I'll keep an eye on Vivian, and if her situation doesn't improve by the second day, I would ask Oleski to check on her and see if he can help her.
Lesky, can you give a medicine check, please? He is not too sure. Morning. I mean, she might, the cold. He thinks maybe a cold.
Okay.
There is another priestess here if you want a second opinion. Just helping with the NPC. So.
Yeah, I would. If he's not able to, if the idea that it's a cold doesn't resonate or doesn't feel like it's going to be enough, I will definitely go for a second opinion.
So you will talk to Nashimi?
Yes.
How would you like to go about that?
My new friend, my companion Vivian, has been uh, feeling under the weather for the last few days. I was wondering if you might be able to aid her or help determine what is wrong.
Sure. God awful rolls.
4.
I took them all.
You did.
Big 4.
She just goes, she's looking over and goes, there is something, but I don't know exactly what. I'm not really a nurse, surgeon and all that. I will look into it more. Is the best I can do.
Okay. I'll just spend my spare time, other than when I'm doing camp duties or aiding Ryland with camp duties or aiding with the overall watch of the camp. I'll just spend my spare time with Vivian, and I'll get her whatever she needs to try to be more comfortable.
Okay. The third day, Nashimi will come back and goes over and asks if she could look over Vivian once more. There was an insight the night before.
Okay.
She spends about 15 minutes checking. She does some type of prayer thing. And then she goes, I see. Do you recall when I said you were a favorite, Hephaestus?
Yes.
You have been chosen, apparently by the fates.
I don't think I understand.
Somehow, your lady is going to have a child.
Bum, bum, bum.
Uh, I look at Vivian. Does she look as scared as I'm feeling?
She's completely confused, not quite understanding how this all transpired. And she's like, how is that possible? There is definitely magic involved. My lady, my goddess, said that there was something divine that needed payment. And in time, this moment was ascertained to be that moment. Plus, you are seeking something from your union and your connection with the Fae. My lady wishes to have some forms of compensation to you, gifting, making you feel that she is indeed wishing good things upon you. But there was something that had to be evened out, she said.
I think perhaps maybe we should have asked Vivian.
I am just a messenger, a vessel of my lady. I do not know what the gods wishes. I can only tell you what has been their, what I've seen and their overall thoughts of wishing, helping, pushing things through, I suppose. There was something more to this, but I don't know all of it, and she was unable to tell me more in the dream. But again, I have not had these encounters before. Being all this is relatively different. Being in this company, most of it was always at my house.
I thank you for that information.
So blesses you, and then she leaves. Now she was very nervous around you. She just didn't seem, she's very hesitant. So she thought you were done with her, so she left. Vivian's like, what the fuck?
uh, well, I think we're with child.
Yeah, I'm with child for sure. That's happening right now, apparently, by this magic gig. They really kind of, I mean, this is a lot, Vestas, a lot. I said I would sign up and go with you, but now I really do like you a lot. I've been really have a lot of feelings for you, but now I have your child by this goddess that we worked this deal out. This is a lot. I mean, a lot.
It is more than I anticipated at this time.
At this time. So you were thinking about it down the road? From me already having a child? Us having a child? We're going to raise this child. We're on the road right now?
I was thinking about us having a life together in a house.
Well, we got to think about it pretty quick now, don't we?
Would it help if I said I knew a nice place to settle?
A little bit, yes.
Oh,
But
Greenwood. I know the people there.
well, I'm not from Greenwood, I'm from Flowerdale.
I do understand that. But they're in need of a great watch captain. I could get a job there and I could be home in the evening.
Well, we better figure it out pretty soon here.
It's near the Fake Court, so we'll definitely have friends close to us.
Well, I hope so. And we got a place. You have a place there? You bought something?
No, but I'm convinced I can get one very quickly.
You're convinced. Is this the other early anticipation along with, am I going to even be married? Have we even figured this out?
Yes.
Was this something you wished for when I wasn't looking?
I think you were with me. I don't know necessarily that the wish was out loud.
So you did wish it.
You make me happier than I recall ever being, and I wished that to last forever. And I wish for us to have a life where we could both be happy together.
Okay. Well, if I'm gonna have a child, we're gonna have to, on our route here to your place, the court. I'm gonna need to be settled down because I'm not having our child where the hell this place, your journey's going.
That is a very good point. So we'll go to the court where you can have the child and be safe while you're with child.
Is the court actually safe?
Safe-ish.
I believe we should be able to get some favor from the Summer Queen.
I'm gonna give you a history check right now. Go ahead, roll.
You sure you don't want to give me some other kind of check?
I'll give you advantage. I'll let you roll one more time. How's that?
All right, fair enough.
You are connected. You are Fey touched.
Is there advantage? Where you can
No.
roll a third time.
This will be good enough.
This was good. 18. We'll take it 18.
Okay. You're gonna have to weigh the idea of if you are traveling without your now potential wife, we'll call her your fiance now, and child. Do you recall what happens when you go in and go out of the Fey world?
Oh, the whole time thing.
So
Yeah, that
you can
could be
decide
bad.
how you want that, because you could have a pretty older child, or generations could go by, or nothing goes by, or maybe she becomes unpregnant or in some aspect. You're not really sure. The Fey thing can be very enchanting to your prospect of that. So
Well, maybe we go to Greenwood first.
okay. Everybody else, so Jew and Aleski and Zindrid will hear that Hephaestus and Vivian's tent has had a lot of loud vocal talking in the last half hour. Something's happened.
I will go investigate.
You will go investigate? Okay. How would you like to investigate? Would you like
AHK.
Okay.
Everything
Not
okay?
now, Jew.
Everything okay?
Not now, Jew.
We're busy.
Oh. Okay. I'll go patrol.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right. All right, so that pretty much that. Firebrand, you have been taught. It would be a very interesting time to study.
You done learned.
It was very pretty much arcane book lore, knowledge learning, nothing real too different, except
Action packed.
yeah, the omnibus of being in a dark elf society under the Drow wizard was intense, but
Different.
yeah, it's not fun loving and flowery, and there was parties or anything you did in fun like you did in the fake courts.
How was the food?
The food's fine. You had a very rigid schedule though. You had to do everything very quickly. He had these expectations. It was very, very militaristic, very doctrine. Those are things you didn't find as enjoyable, but you still accomplished your task. You still were shown that you had the ability to do so, and he was impressed enough for you to learn. So you have those now. You end up showing up after a few days. The camp is set. Apparently, everyone here has been used to a routine. The only one, again, you don't see is that, what you know is this Shadow Smite. You don't see her. The rest of everyone else has kind of been lingering around in the campsite area, and Jerez is the only one off a little bit, but she's still easily within sight and in talking distance. So
I get close. I get close to the camp, and then I misty step right into the middle. I'm back, baby. What'd I miss?
Okay. Just waiting for you, Rydell says.
All right. Everybody here? Everybody ready to go?
We're ready to go. So he'll say, like, give me a moment, and he starts packing up the camp. Dress will kind of move over and start helping him, as well as Pepper.
I'll help as well wherever
me
anybody
an
looks like they
insight.
need help.
Give me an insight check, Firebrand.
I'm not very insightful.
No?
Say 9.
Okay, yeah. All of a sudden, you're just back. You're glad to be back with everybody and getting the camp situated and done. You guys are, camp is now broken down within about 20 minutes. And you guys can now head out of the mountain. That's where you wish to go.
So we're heading towards the Feywild, and
Yep.
even though you just said it, I blanked on the name of the town. Are we going? I can't picture what the map looked like before. We're going
west. You're at underneath St. Augustine, so you're on the mountain range of that.
Okay, are we going towards Greenwood? Because I know
yes,
is it that direction?
Greenwood's in that direction, yes.
And then the Feywild was like above it.
Just a bit above.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Our old stomping grounds.
Yeah, there's places you all been, except for Indrid and her band. All right, so Jerez will take. Well, she kind of like moves to the point. Now we know what you guys have communicated. Once again, you do not see where Laura went, and the rest of everyone else seems to kind of follow in line, unless you guys have spoken up about any type of difference of that. You're muted, Lee.
I will stay a little closer to Vivian at this point.
Okay.
I'm gonna go talk to HK as we start to head out. Just to how was it camping out with our new companions? You get to know them a little bit?
I did. They're going to be great additions, very helpful on the battlefield, and I believe their dedication to the cause will make them stalwart allies.
Great to hear. You broke the bad news to them that you already have a best friend.
I think that should be well known.
He's got other news to deal with.
Yes.
That's what Vivian said.
Other news?
Yeah.
How much could have happened while you guys were camping out in the middle of the woods?
Oh, a very quiet fucking lot, I would say.
Woo! Apparently, I missed something big.
Big?
Jeez.
Big is understatement.
Now I know she's talking about you, buddy.
HK's looking like he can't get a word in edgewise, as well as he doesn't know what to say.
You just keep opening and closing your mouth.
Yeah, pretty much.
Eyes are going a little funny. Well, and she slaps him in the arm. She goes, "Tell him."
We're with child.
Whoa, what? So you're saying I'm gonna be an uncle?
Yes.
I'm glad you're really fucking happy about it.
Why aren't you? This is a blessing, Vivian.
Well, it's definitely a blessing from this goddess that you're all helping, because we wished it.
Is it safe to say, based on Firebrand's exuberance, that they're being loud enough to be overheard?
Yes. This is now, and Vivian is also very loud. She's very animated now. Now that the tent's not muffling.
HK was trying to be somewhat discreet because he wasn't sure how to break the news. Epic failure.
But wait, did everybody get wishes? Damn.
I do not believe so.
If he keeps it up, I'm going to backstab him.
Well, good for you, buddy.
Please temper your acceleration.
Zendrid nudges her mount forward.
Just excited. I'll keep it down.
No more exotic oils for you, my friend.
Yeah, I don't think that guy labeled those oils right.
Vivian, I hope you plan on it. Well,
regardless of the impossibility for how this may have happened, you can't continue seriously to carry a woman who will be growing large with child along with us.
She just said you
We
will
are
be
on our
fat.
way to Greenwood, a village that I am very familiar with.
Ooh,
We knew the
you talking
mayor.
Greenwood? Yeah, it's a nice village. I used to be the mayor.
Is that on the way?
Once
Yes.
upon a time.
We've just barely left my city. I could see that she's cared for. My family could make sure that I could guarantee her safety. Well, as guaranteed as anything can be in this world.
Oh, Greenwood's a great place. They have the #1 school district in the whole area.
Nashimi will step forward and goes, as it is a blessing of the silk, the first house would definitely honor such a blessing. She would be the most defended and most charitable of children.
She would be very honored by being selected by Stilk if that is true.
Lady Zindred, my cousin speaks very true. There would be no safer place. And our uncle would be there defending.
Godfather.
I don't think that's a decision I would be able to make for her.
Well, clearly
That-
she has ears and she's part of the conversation. I would never exclude her opinion.
Yeah, you're in enough trouble already.
Vivian's thinking, I mean,
Royal treatment.
she goes, I think that's not I think that's a really good idea. If we are friends of them, we did travel along with Ubin, and I would be in a noble house. I mean, that is way better than, I'm sorry, Greenwood.
Greenwood is
Regardless of how our quest goes, I promise you, I'll give you my word that she would be safe with my family, as safe as they can make her.
then that's what we should do.
Okay. Let's see what she can do.
Don't all the things that I typed earlier while the whole like family announcement thing were going on just went to Benito. I didn't put it to the right place. Oh, what a shame.
Classic.
Oops. Now the DM knows.
Yeah. Yeah, I was talking about a family-sized mini van wagon and all kinds of
Yeah.
stuff for him.
So she will try, as you guys hit the road and camp, then she will try to reach out to her mother to see if that will, to get that thing set up.
Okay.
Who's reaching out to whose mother?
Nashimi. She will talk to her mother. Because she is a high priestess of silk,
Fair enough.
but she doesn't have any spells written out to get that word right off the bat. Okay. All right. You guys, so pretty much the travel through the mountain early from the Dragon's Cave will not be that harsh. So just to, again, to expedite things through. Jares and Laura seem to do a lot of the patrolling and leading of the group. You don't really ever see Laura, but Jares seems to know when she's around, or she makes some type of communication to Jares that she is about and looking forward. So the two of them are very practiced, very astute. You see how the way they move and stuff like that. You're getting a good idea of that they're very, very capable scouts.
Shadow Smite would also have orders to report in at least every hour to appear and say and report on what she's seen.
She seems to do it through Jares that things are good.
Of course, but she does it.
Yeah, and then Jares seems to like let you know that things are good, just with her stoic presence, the way she is with things.
Fair.
After that day, Nashimi did contact her mother, it was Magdola, and within a few moments, her mother will appear and be ready to take Vivian from you.
I will give Vivian a hug. I will look her in the eyes and say, I am sorry that this happened in the time that it happened. But I will never say I'm sorry that you and I have this connection that will keep us together. I wish it didn't happen in just this way. But know that whatever I do will be to get back to you.
Damien goes, it was just a shock. But like you said, and we've talked about, this is our feelings toward each other. I just didn't think it was possible. Me being human and you being Warforged. But magic is happening a lot around us. And I know that you have some weird connection with the Fae and whatever they are. I don't know them that well. But I will take this blessing that's from her to see what it will make of us, to make a family of us. I will be waiting at your friend's house in good company and good care, I think. As she steps back and turns, the High Priestess, Magcobrella, the third daughter of Hesissius, so a very elegant, beautiful dark elf priestess. She lets a moment as Vivian walks by. She'll look to you and go, Festus Kenrick, our family has reached out to let us know of this blessing that has transpired. Your child to be, I will let you know, is quite the blessing for our people in our house. To have him born, waiting for you to return as a hero, is the most celebrated thing that we could possibly hope for. I have reached out to my lady to understand what it is that has happened as your gift to this world. She says that there were pieces that Hades had to pay to put things in her play, to control her, things that he had to give up. There are old tales in old worlds of great heroes. Your son that will be born will be one of those heroes. There will be many tales that will be talked of him. He will set new things, new greatness for others to follow as he champions against the great evil around this world. For that blessing that you give our house, we will cherish it and honor you by protecting with our last breath to make sure that he will be waiting for you when you return.
I thank you for the protection you've offered for my child and my love.
As she takes one step, she looks back to you one more time and goes, oh, the goddess says he will be waiting for his name, his first name, but he already has his last name. You bring back the era of the Greyscopes to the Speros. And a portal opens and she walks through with your daughter, your wife-to-be and child.
Did you catch my
Fucking
direct
knew it.
message, Ben?
I did not. Let's see if I got it.
I called it as soon as Ben said she was pregnant. I messaged him and I said, "Baby Grace." I said, "Baby Greystone." I knew it.
Okay, cool. She will, I will actually message you back privately.
I don't know if anybody notices. I just didn't want to interrupt your scene.
Yep.
There was a gender reveal in there. I was gonna do a pinata, and when HK broke it open, either pink candy came out or blue candy came out, and now it's all freaking ruined.
I know we were gonna hang like a goblin from a string and just like
Okay.
feed him full of the appropriate color.
All right.
Y'all are awful.
You are now down a party member. Your rogue is now gone. and you guys will continue. to
Weird.
move
We
out.
go +1 to get -1.
Well, you got a lot of people. So
I came with like 4.
Yeah.
actually, you have a partial road. She's just not as probably as charismatic as Vivian was, even though Vivian started a little rough off the edges for a little bit.
We caught Vivian while she was pretty well into an evening.
Yeah. Although Laura,
I figured out what made Vivian tick, so I could get away with stuff.
Yeah.
So I
Alright.
lost that.
All right, so Firebrand, you're now for a couple days and kind of going. You're in the company of these dark elves. They seem to be running the show of how you're moving along. They seem to be again very seasoned, very practiced, very militaristic in their abilities and the way they do things. Again, Laura and Jerez take control. They seem to, and Jerez seems to report to Zindred, keeping you guys all moving forward. The only
They
one
probably need to know the direction to go, though. Like
they,
I know where we're going. I don't know if they know how to get to the.
Yeah, we weren't trying to take over.
The
They'll do
Feywild.
stuff kind of out of habit. But we're also, even though we're scouting, we definitely would not be adverse to other eyes because all of us during sunlight are binding a thin piece of cloth over our eyes and we're all at a disadvantage. So even the most perceptive of us during the daytime, we're just not going to see as much as y'all will.
I mean, it's
You're not
still
going to
an
get any
upgrade
complaints
over-
from this guy.
it's still an upgrade over Jew trying to figure out what direction to go. But we're now getting into territory where we've been traveling back and forth between all of these places. So we must have started getting the kind of the lay of the land, directions of where to go.
Right.
you have an idea. I mean, you said where do they need to go. They don't know exactly.
Yeah.
to go in.
Joking.
You point us in the right direction, but we're
Because we've gone
Running
to
the
the
perimeter.
Feywild, Greenwood, all of these towns. We've gone back and forth and traveled around. We went back in time and re-traveled them. And
But you did not come out of the mountain to
Yeah,
go
I got-
direction west. You guys
Yeah.
you guys hooked around the mountain.
Yeah. HK, while we're on the road at some point, jokingly, will say to Rydell with Jew right there, with an arm over Jew's shoulder, will say, generally speaking, unless you are going backwards, we can't be further off of where we've been in the past with the scout.
Not wrong.
I mean, I haven't seen this tree before, so that's a step in the right direction.
And I hand him an apple from my pack that I picked somewhere, and I say, and he makes me pay him in apples whenever I crack that joke.
I'll be
There you go,
careful.
Jerez.
I'm gonna be careful eating anything that HK hands out these days. Never know what might happen.
You're in good hands with those two. They know their way around, and Jerez can even get through the issues with daylight.
Excellent.
So he seems very relaxed. Like the thing about Rydell, like he much like I guess for the two other drought, Rydell and Nashimi don't seem to be too bothered like what goes on around him. I mean Nashimi just seems to be like whatever Zindra goes, she kind of walks, but she's taking notes, she's reading something in her book, or she's doing like that. Rydell just seems like he doesn't give a fucking shit. Like he's just waiting for something to kind of happen. He lets either trust those two so complicit, or he is sort of offish in some regard, or a little both. You're not really too sure about that. So that's how, I mean, they're very often that pair. And again, Laura doesn't really like to come much around the bigger part of the party. She definitely seems to be reporting in to Jerez, but that's about as far as it goes. Jerez doesn't go too far. I mean, you can see her. She doesn't scout way far out, but she seems definitely knows where she's catching where Laura went, or leading and keeping you guys out of any traps or anything like that. She seems to be pretty practiced in that regard, even though she's not very rangerish. It's not as smooth walking as probably with Pepper leading, but she definitely seems to go in a good direction and keep you guys out of any harm's way. Okay.
Cool.
All right. Pretty much the journey of the mountain is pretty quiet, unless you guys wish again to interact with any one of your dark elf friends. It is very simplistic going out. They seem to keep you out of any harm's way. until you guys basically get outside the mountain. It takes about 5 days of walking to get through out of the mountain of St. Augustine, out into the wilds of the plains. Anyways, okay. After a while, the next day, you guys are traveling in the plains. It's about a day. It is late, so you do a little traveling in the afternoon or dusk. This is when Jerez signals a stop, and Zindrid, you notice that she's giving you the silent signal of the drow hand language to you need to come forward, urgent.
What was that last part, Ben? I'm sorry. On my speaker, you like cut out some a little bit.
Jerez does a drow hand signal that you need to come up to her immediately. It's urgent. Like there's a threat. It's something very very threatening, which is why she's giving you a hand signal of danger.
Then I make a motion of alert to the folks around me and scoot my mount forward,
Okay.
which
I
is a
will-
really, really large lizard.
Yeah,
He's quiet.
very quiet.
Oh,
Didn't
yeah.
realize you had a lizard.
Yeah, I think
I will.
He was so quiet, nobody noticed.
He's a
Yeah.
bit quiet.
Chameleon-like almost.
I will. I will accompany Zindrid, and
All right,
hopefully
you
save
follow?
15% on my car insurance.
I also draw Kismet.
Okay. Do you each move up to her stealth-wise or just regular moving?
As stealthy as I can get.
Roll it then, please.
Well, let me ask you a question. Does my mount have the ability to be sneaky? Doesn't look like it. So I guess I'm getting off and walking. Damn it. And I'll stealth.
No, I would think your lizard would be very stealthy, just as stealthy as you.
Okay, cool. Then I'll rock it that way. Where's my, not that I'm that crazy sneaky, but a little bit.
I mean, walking lizards are pretty quiet.
Nat 20.
Nice.
Its tongue keeps flicking out and touching Jew though, and he doesn't like it.
But I use that to my advantage, and I got a 19. So
You did. You did. All right, so you go. You both quietly go up to Jerez. And so when you get up to her, she basically whispers, "There's something out there that Laura sees. She wants you to know of it." And she points. There seems to be about 100 feet. There is a stick. It looks like a skull or a head of something on it, humanoid.
Like a plague marker or something like that?
You know,
sure looks like a
warning that-
warning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
orcs use it a lot. Head stick a head on a stick to say my territory or something like that or whatever. There's probably there's a number of meanings of one. What
Mhm.
this one means directly, you don't know, but it got Laura's attention. But of course, Laura hasn't approached Jerez or you. She just told you.
So-
She just kind of communicated to Jerez, and then Jerez has communicated that point from you.
I send out to Laura. Do you just see the totem? Or is there anything else?
Now that you need a perception check to find her out there.
Ah,
She
but-
hasn't told you so.
when I say send, I meant sending. As long as I'm familiar with her, it'll find her
Okay, yeah.
anywhere.
She goes, "Milady, this is eerie. The head is fresh."
Okay, I'll relay that to the folks around me very softly.
Okay, so it's just you, Jew, and Jerez.
And then one by one, I will send it to the others. Probably about 18 to 20 seconds.
Okay, you're sending something. What are you?
I'm sorry, I'll spell it out then. Using an
I know-
action per.
Yeah.
You know how I'm sending, right?
What? Yeah. Well, what are you telling them exactly? From what?
That we've seen exactly that.
Ahead.
There's a head on a pole. It's fresh. Clearly some kind of demarcation of danger. We're not sure what distance or direction.
Okay. Each
And
one of
it's
you
fresh.
get that message from Zindrid's voice in your head. Jew, you are next to Zindred and Jerez. So is there anything you can see the head 100 feet from where you guys are? You don't see Laura, but apparently he's communicated. Zindred has communicated to her.
Well, it's fresh, which means whatever put it there can still be very close by.
And likely are, I would think.
The question is, did they put it there because they know we're coming? Or did they put it there just because they're happen to be out and about staking their territory? Um,
Survival check to recognize whether or not there is anything tied to, painted on, or attached to the totem that would indicate what kind of warning it is.
Give me a roll.
19.
You feel that it seems intent. There's no way you just feel his intent towards you guys. Like it is dripping
It's
blood.
not a random warning.
No,
Okay.
it is dripping blood. This thing is
Oh, fresh.
this thing is really sent. Someone
Is
knew
it planted in the middle of the trail or the middle of our path?
it is definitely in the middle of your path.
Whose head is it?
You don't recognize anything. Some humanoid that you don't recognize at all.
well, that's good.
Scoot back to everybody else to discuss.
So
Sending
it's
to Shadow Smite to stay alert, but see if she can also pick up any tracks for which direction that person who planted it may have gone.
Does anybody recognize where we are in relation to where we're going? And like, we've got to be on the right path. What I'm basically trying to say is someone trying to stop us from our intended path, or did we sidestep a little bit off our trail into someone else's land?
Who would know that we were coming this way now?
And based on what I noticed about it, I really feel like it was targeted at this group. This wasn't a random occurrence.
Okay.
This was a warning to us. Someone stalking us.
Ben,
Goes.
can I get a history check to see if this would be a hallmark of anybody we've heard about or been doing any research on?
What, the head?
Yeah,
You don't even see the head. The only
No,
one.
right. But
Oh, yeah.
it was told to me by message, so I'm just thinking, does this sound like anybody I've heard about or we've been talking about as a group?
Like someone's calling card or their normal MO.
Okay, yeah. Give me a roll.
The head on a stick killer.
While he's rolling, Jerez will go to you. My lady. Reach out with your senses. Do you feel what I would feel?
Yeah.
The best is you do not. You don't.
Okay.
Okay, I will go with my ability to divine sense good and evil.
You detect undead
In which direction?
all around you. Mostly in the front. Not like directly behind you, but definitely in this field where the head is.
We're surrounded by undead.
Is the head undead or is it actually dead?
Can't pinpoint that precisely. I just know they're not all the way around us, but in front and off and somewhat off to the flanks.
They're flanking around us on both sides while we're talking.
Are they moving
Juice
around
box,
us?
right?
Is that the way that they seem to feel?
You just feel presence of undead.
Yeah, I just know they're there. I can't tell exactly what they're doing.
You can't tell numbers. You can't tell what. You can't tell strong. You just feel that this is unhollow. This is definitely, there is death here. The unnatural undead.
Looking at the direction we
Divine
saw.
sense actually says you know the location of any
Yeah.
undead
Yeah,
within
so
60 feet.
you just don't know like their names. Like if it was Strahd, you wouldn't know it's Strahd. You know it's a vampire.
Unless they're behind total cover, and then I don't sense them at all.
Right.
Then, so if we are facing in a given direction, for the sake of discussion, calling where the head is north.
Mhm.
Would Zendred be able to point to the farthest to the east that this collection of undead that's semi surrounding us would be, so he could attack the side versus the middle of this thing?
Where Zindred is, they seem to be would be outstretched out like a cone. They don't definitely seem to. They're not on your flanks yet. They're not behind you guys.
They're just not directly in front of us. They're spread out.
It's definitely. She's sensing it's definitely around that head, like wherever the head is. I mean, the head is 100 yards. It's somewhere around that. There could be more. There could be deeper, but within that 60 feet radius, she knows something is around that head part of it. She
Okay.
don't see anything different. Nothing is more odd but the bloody head that she's reported to. Again, remember, only Jew, Zindred, and Jerez can physically see the head, and you're assuming Laura because she has not revealed herself. But
Okay.
I
you guys,
skinnied back. I shifted backwards to converse with the regular group. I'm not up where I can see the head anymore either.
okay, so you went back. So now, Jew, did you go back with Zindred, or are you going to stay up there with Jerez? Okay.
We need to gather everybody together and then move towards a target en masse.
I send a sending to Shadow Smite to return to the group or the fringes of the group for
Okay.
military action.
All right, she will come. You will see her come closer to Jerez. Jew, the one they call Shadow Smite, returns. You never saw her until she kind of like appears about 5 feet away from you. She smiles wickedly at you and then licks her lips. There's unhollow here. They are dead. I do not see them, but they are somewhere. My guess, spirits of some sort. Then you need to stay close to one of the order.
I'm not there.
Dress will make the motion that you can see now Laura with him, so you can all move up toward him. So now, within minutes, the party is together. All you guys are all in the area.
Sorry. You guys didn't hear any of that.
Not knowing what types we face or what powers they have, paladins spread out amongst the others.
Okay. So Jerez will take point. Laura will go left. Rylan will go right. You guys in the middle. Nashimi stays pretty close to you, Zindri. Unless you want to go in the far back.
No, I would. Zendred's a frontline kind of girl, but Nanchimi, sorry, I struggle with her name. I keep trying to encourage to stay just a little bit further back. Be behind me, but a little bit further back.
I'll stay.
Right.
I'll stay centered, of course.
Okay.
I'll stay centered with Rylan, or off center, like to the left of Rylan, so I'm filling in a space that way.
Tighten my shield. When you can't see the full trap, sometimes the best way is to spring it.
I'm curious, if it was a trap, why would they give the warning?
Some traps are made to slow you down.
We're meant to know we're being toyed with. but the undead are an abomination that must be destroyed regardless.
True.
We have both the stones on us, right?
Yeah.
My scroll finger's getting itchy.
Okay. So this is gonna be I gotta get the minis down the road, but they're temporary. So this is Jaress. She's kind of like at the point leading. Right out to the right. This one will be Shadow Spike.
Laura.
The rest of you guys are, I'm assuming, somewhere in the more or less collecting in the middle, or you guys want to do something?
Can you put me on the cross where the lines cross between Jaress and Rydell? Nope. Oh, I'm sorry. Forward. Like, yeah, keep other side of that fig there.
Right there?
Nope. The other side of that fig.
Over here? Okay. I'm trying to look at them. I'm looking at the cameras over here.
Yeah, but like right on the where the two lines cross, right on that cross. Yeah.
Knight to Queen 7.
Knight to Queen 7. Right. Everybody else is good?
Oh yeah, front and center. I'm good. Right where I'm at. Let's go.
Okay. So you guys are marching up.
Who? Sorry, I was muted. Which one is Zedrid?
You're at the green.
Gotcha. Cool. I'm with you now.
Where's the lizard?
Try to use the color things from my zombie side. To help on their moms.
Somebody needs to take the other side of Jaress, opposite my position.
All right, I'll move up.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll intend to stay close to this this woman that Zindrid is trying to keep protected.
Okay.
She should. So right now we got kind of almost a viaduct thing going. She should just kind of be in the middle of it and put me up there beside HK. We talked
Flying
about bleeding
V.
together.
Pepper will move up a little bit then. All right, so looks like we got a little group here. All right, is that good?
Firebrand, we are in the wild. Take heed of our surroundings.
I kind of want to use the scroll. We have important cargo. Who's carrying? Did we establish before who has the stones?
You have one, and I believe Aleski has the other.
I wouldn't be averse to holding it, but I don't believe it's been established that I was given the stone. Actually, I don't know who the drow matron gave the stone to.
She gave it to the group as a whole, but I would say you should hold it. I think.
Yeah, I think we would have
Because
given it to you.
And Firebrand have the best ability, if in the worst case scenario, to away. So that makes sense. Like if all goes lost, you guys have to boogie. That you guys can do that.
Agreed.
Right, so you guys have the cargo, 2 of them. You're walking forward. All right, as you get within 15 feet of the severed head, Firebrand, give me a perception check.
$15.
You recognize the head.
Oh fuck.
It is the knight, Friendlord.
Oh shit. This is not good, guys. That's Friendlord, the summer night. Whoever got this guy is a badass motherfucker.
Wait, the guy that met us when we first came?
No, that was the winter night. This is his opposite in the summer court.
Right.
There's the summer queen, the summer lady, the summer night.
Shadow smokes
Put that in
around.
perspective.
So when I said Queen to Knight 7, I was just joking.
Armored figure shows up in front of Jaress. It is a knight in shiny black armor, but he has robes that kind of flow. They're very shadowy and misty and silk flowing around him. You recognize one of them.
It's a
Yeah,
knight
it's one of those
You have seen
fucking
it
knights.
before.
Yeah, it's one of the Knights of the Nine.
It is one of the Knights of Nine.
Damn it, those motherfuckers.
The knights that say 9.
Yeah, they're German.
It is Sir Goswell. He goes, Firebrand, you are returning to the Bay Courts. You have been given a warning by the Queen of Air and Darkness to forfeit your quest. Do not serve this goddess Silk anymore.
What quest? I've never heard of this silk.
You are not as clever as you wish to seem. We see you in the company of their champions, their followers. Give us the stones to the Queen of Air and Darkness now, and you may not suffer Fenmore's fate.
Yeah, he was always kind of an asshole. Seriously, flip through my player's handbook. Hold on.
Quite all right.
Big fancy knight.
So, all right, trying to look at ours. So where is that? Who's the lead person on the map? Is that him? Okay, so the one.
The very bottom
that's
is the
him?
back. Yeah, that's the knight.
That's the bad guy. Yep.
Okay, how far spread out are we?
You're pretty much about 10 feet from Jerez. These guys are all pretty close, within 5 feet of each other.
Okay, so we're not super spread out.
No.
I am going to keep an eye on our flanks, thinking this guy's not alone. Or at least the left flank where I'm situated.
You are next to nobody drought-wise. Okay.
Who? Me?
Yeah,
I
was just
am
double
going
checking if
to-
someone would talk to you or not.
Oh yeah, no. I mean the flanks, like in the woods or the area around our group, because I'm guessing this guy's not alone. So I just want to make sure we're not getting surrounded as he talks and delays.
I'm gonna say, you're driving a hard bargain here. Give me 1 second to think about it. And I'm gonna cast Wall of Force in a straight line across us in front of us, and I'm gonna use the scroll to send us all back to the summer court.
You son of a bitch. All right.
Yeah, I know you're gonna try to dispel me, but that other motherfucker that has a reaction to casting spells, so I'm gonna block that and then get the hell out because these guys are not a joke.
Nope. All right. So you avoid them. You back out.
We have the scrolls. We can't chance losing them to these guys.
All right. Oh, I lost myself.
Oh my god, you lost your face.
I'm totally gone. You're in the fake court.
Kevin Bacon from the
It's
Invisible
all
Man.
fixed.
Magic.
It is all magic.
The Invisible Man.
He's showing his
All
true
right,
face.
It's
I
a
know.
scroll.
You know, just to go off thing like that, I did not realize I missed the Spider-Man one that Nick Fury was a scroll. I had to go back. Good thing I watched enough YouTube. All right. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
shit,
So
man.
So's Iron Man.
you take everybody and appear in the summer court, and all the court of Eldalden elves and Sadars and centaurs and stuff all are pretty startled. They come to arms,
I
but
bet.
They quickly recognize you, and seeing some of you before, seeing that some of you are Fey touched as well. Zindred, this is pretty unsettling. All of a sudden, you've been teleported before, but the area where you go is quite full of life, color, vibrancy of summer, flowers, colors of trees. The air is just the sensations of everything assail you pleasantly. It is different, but you're definitely in an enchanting place you have never could imagine. It is quite appealing in a lot of regards, but indeed still unsettling. You still sense you can sense beings, these like celestial type of beings, sort of speaking, that have sort of touches here. You can still see some of that malleable effect going through, and there's a lot of magic. You see a part of that, but yet it is reassuring because it is homeworld or history to your goddess, the Raven Queen. So you're not too startled after you quickly get yourself back into play.
I'm sure it was definitely jolting, and since I was standing right beside HK, I probably like pry my fingers off of his shoulder from grabbing it to steady myself as suddenly the world twisted sideways because I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, your crew is also pretty stunned from other effect. They're still trying to figure out what's going on. Even Laura, who usually would disappear, has not really moved. She stayed in that same formation that you basically have.
I give
I'll-
a flourishing bow and say, "Welcome to the summer court, Zindred."
I'll lean over to Laurel and say, "Stay close."
So this is the Feywild, is it?
Give me an insight check, would you?
Insight check. Where's my?
It is beautiful.
Hold on. I gotta find my
It's so bright.
saving throws.
It's so high.
Oh, here she comes. Watch out, Jew. She'll chew you up.
Okay, hold on. I gotta go full screen here. Insight check.
Watch out, boy. Watch out, boy.
You just made a smart ass comment. You didn't really look. You didn't really look for much of a reaction. So very nice. Lady Ventura.
Basically, just being
well,
an ass.
Ventura will arrive, and she goes, "Firebrand, you have returned, and you have darker elves. Interesting."
Yes, we've made some new friends along our journey. It's been interesting, eventful, and we had to make a hasty entrance.
Really. What has happened?
Much has happened. We've been on the quest we were given by Queen Titania and have returned to stage for the next step of our journey and to I guess report in and leave some important items for the caretaking of my friends here at the summer court.
Well, very good. Oh, please. I will escort you to the hall. You must be hungry.
I do have some grave news for the queen, though. I think I should, at least HK and myself should see her as soon as possible.
Very well. Your friends, please go this way. You two shall follow me.
I'm gonna look for some of that fancy good food.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, you guys.
I'll look at Zindred. I'll say, feel welcome. You're safe here. You can get. They're gonna, they put out a nice spread, as Jew will tell you, and feel, relax and a little bit, get comfortable. HK and I have to go speak with the queen, and we'll be back shortly.
Thank you very much, and we will feel safe with your comment, but I think we'll stick with our rations just the same. I've heard tales of the foods of the Feywild.
Okay. So you'll be escorted to a great hall where food will be prepared. Jew and Oleski, please roll me a perception check, please.
Ben, right before they leave, I just want to look at Zindred and say, please make sure Laura does not stray too far from your group. Being lost here in the Feywilds would be poor.
She is wiser than she appears, but I'll make sure she knows.
Jew, you ever got a roll going on? Perception?
Working on it. Hey, much better. 18.
Oh yeah. The very smaller Elardon elves are all really gawking at Zindred, and you're pretty sure it's because of the sword that is on her hip.
Which her hand is not closed around, but is resting on.
Yes. You hear them muttering something that you can't quite pick up, but they seem to know her blade.
I'm gonna go approach them.
And they kind of some shut away and move back.
No.
It's the faux hammer.
It's okay. It's okay.
All right.
What?
You corner one of them.
What is it that you recognize? You obviously have seen or heard of this weapon that she carries.
Yes.
What is it called?
It's magical.
I know that. Have you heard stories of its use?
I will tell you if you give a favor back.
Sure.
Sure? Good.
Sure.
That is the blade of the Raven Queen.
Oh no, Jew.
She was once Spey.
I did not know this.
You know now.
I do. I thank you.
I think you.
Carry on. Have a wonderful rest of the evening, and when you need a favor, let me know.
Oh, I will. Thank you. And then he goes, and now he's very happy that he's talked to you. And the other one seemed to be very like they missed out on something.
Interesting. I'll go back to eating and drinking.
Cool. All right, Firebrand and Hephaestus. Lady Ventura takes you to Queen Titania sitting magnificently on her throne.
Oh, sweet Jew. You poor fool. So we walk in, I'll get on a knee and bow to the queen, my queen.
I'm gonna take a shower first.
Okay, so you see Lady Titania. She's again looking magnificent, beautiful, all around her throne of flowers. She goes, "You have returned. What news do you bring?"
I'm not sure where to start. We have good news. We have grave news. We have retrieved 2 of the bloodstones.
Excellent.
We have them with us.
Thinking you would be worth it.
We'll need to leave. Our plan is to leave them here for safekeeping, and the 3rd one we've learned is with Dark Sun in the north. So we'll leave these 2 in the summer court for safekeeping, and then head north to stop Dark Sun and retrieve the 3rd one.
Good.
We've learned much more about Silk. We met Silk,
Yes.
and it appears that Hades is the real adversary to us all.
Yes.
We know without a shadow of a doubt that the Queen of Air and Darkness is against us, as I used the scroll for us to escape with the 2 bloodstones from her Knights of the Nine.
Oh yes. That bitch has been hunting you for a while now.
Unfortunately, I have to tell you that the way that they made themselves known to us on our path is with a stake with your knight Friendlore's head on it. They appear to have met him in battle or sneakily and beheaded him.
Well, his time has come. Now it is your time, Fireburn. It's time for you to be the Summer Knight.
Well, it is what you indicated your plans were for me from the beginning.
It's the time frame. So everything else is well?
Everything else has been going. It's been going. we're on the right track. We know where we're headed next, and the apparently final step in
Yes.
completing all this.
That will be a part of it, but I will give you an alternative choice.
What would that be?
Silk does have some form of vices that Hades put on her when he brought her into the power that he did. He has infused her with 7 sins that make her the dark entity that she is.
So the sins are what makes her dark. Without those, she is not dark, for lack of a better way to put it.
Yes. For every sin that you remove, she will not feel those desires. She will be more pure, more balanced, like our courts.
How would we go about removing these sins, my queen?
You may destroy them, because like the stones, they were created with them. Or they may willingly remove them from themselves, spiritually.
Where would we find them?
They're out in the realms all over the place now. As is
So are they?
desires.
So when you say they could voluntarily remove themselves, are they sentient things?
Yes, you know of them.
We know of them.
We were told of them.
I do not follow.
Champions that were spoken of. They're her vices.
Oh.
He made it so he put things in them to make them more controlling. But again, you do not need to destroy them. You need to have them unmake the stone that Hades had of them. There is a dark ritual that was created bringing Silk into being. That is how all of this is about, control. If the new gods are to come, and us be a part of them, we must make it so Hades is not the king of the gods, that it is balanced. Hades wants to be the dark king against his brother Zeus. That is what this is about, making balance.
So we either have to
these are so they're the Dark Sun's champions that were brought back, and we either have to destroy them or convince them to withdraw or change their alignment, making her more evil.
Hades made a mistake when he was given the ritual. The champions that were he believed that had such control over her have already lived lives of generations, things that have made them the beings that they are. Some are wicked indeed, you will find, but some may have seen a different light. But they are being influenced by Dark Sun. It is that control that has made all of this pass into the new king that Hades wishes to become.
Do we know which ones and which sins they are so we can seek them out and separate them from the rest of their herd?
There is one that you know of that can help you find this information out. You have left her. It is unfortunate that you must have to go back to her. But the Lady Aurora is a very divine in tune being.
So we're gonna have to go back and see her and learn what she knows about
I believe she wished to
all
meet
the
you
champions.
anyways at one of the towns that you left. Or going to, I should say.
Which town?
Let me quickly get my map. Fair, Fare, the northern town. That town would be a good staging point for you anyways.
All right, so I guess now we know where we're headed next. On our way to take on stopping Dark Sun and removing these sins now.
Yes.
I take it as that this mission isn't going to change for me as the now that Sir Frenlore is no longer with us.
It is the mission of my summer night. Like the way it was always meant to be.
Does that change anything about me, or
You're a much more wanted man.
seems to me I was pretty wanted already,
Maybe
given the attention from the Queen of Air and Darkness and her knights.
well, she knows I put a lot of investment in you, Firebrand. So you must now accept these new duties. And I will tell you, the Knights of Nine are still hunting you.
I have no doubt about that. Any now that I'm to be the summer knight, any thing you can tell me or do to help me get the better of them?
Stay close to
To get close to what?
stay close to those paladins.
Because I'd hate to have the same outcome as the former summer night with them.
Well, you have a lot more friends than Kremlin had. That's why there needs to be a change.
All right. So any anything else I can do for you, my queen, before we make our leave?
No. Can fulfill the quest as you have been prophesied, Firebrand. And then you'll be celebrated in the court.
Well, then, where should we leave the 2 bloodstones that we have?
You can leave them with the lady.
All right, I will give them to Lady Ventura before we leave.
Good hunting.
Thank you.
With that wall of flowers and leaves obscure you, and the throne is gone. Leaving you with Lady Ventura. She goes, congratulations, Firebrand. The title is finally yours. Knight of the Summer Court.
Yay.
That's what you were reborn for.
Considering I just saw the reward the former Summer Knight received, his retirement package leaves me apprehensive.
Well, if you do well, the living package has its benefits.
I'll
You're
have
not.
to, I'll have to take your word for it for now. Hopefully I get to see for myself.
It's not like knights can't be killed. Well, except the Knights of Nine. They can't be killed, but you know
Because
how
they're already dead. Yeah.
you know how it goes.
Fear not, Firebrand. You're going to be around. My boy will need an uncle.
Oh yes, congratulations. I heard all about this enchantment.
Speaking of which, we need to have a word, HK, while on our way back
Sure.
by ourselves.
Yeah. Are you giving the stones to Lady Ventura? Or she's gonna leave you.
I'll give her mine, and then I'll say we have to get the other one from Alexi. Apparently. Or did I? Because I didn't say I took it from her when we got there.
No. Okay, she takes yours and lets you two walk back.
So about your son, what we heard from the Drow priestess told us that he was Greystoke reborn. When we were learning about the Dark Sun's champions that we now know are the embodiment of the Silk Sins, I do remember hearing that the vampire lord was named Azarian Greystoke.
I know not of this one, but
That's we were told what their names were and a little bit about them. I do remember hearing that his last name was Greystoke. I wonder if there's some connection between this family, what his former life, I guess. It seems like, well, we know he was brought back. He hasn't been around.
well, I will have to ask Shishimi for more information, but she seemed to speak of this family with some sort of reverence, but I don't know whether that was the family or because of the connection with her mistress.
Yeah, it's just seemed like something that, since I did remember that I should bring up, because it was either we had to destroy these champions or convince them somehow to voluntarily withdraw. It may be something we can use,
We're not mentioning my child to them.
Okay.
Not yet. While I have every confidence that upon being born and being raised, my son will be strong. My son will be clever like his mother.
That's why we talk about it now and not while it's just the two of us and not later.
But we don't want to mention these enemies that we face. They play games beyond typical comprehension and very long. We don't want to give them information about ourselves. That would be most unwise.
All right.
Even if they claim to know us, we should confirm little other than their defeat.
Fair enough. That's why we established that while it's just us and in front of everybody.
Do you think
So
he'll
let's
look, do you think he'll look like his mother or like me?
probably a combination of the two. I mean, that's how kids usually are. Is magic involved, so it's not entirely impossible. I mean, he'll probably be a little softer than you, bud, but
I hope he looks like his mother.
well, so do I, but I didn't want to say it.
With that, we'll catch up with the group.
All right.
And scene. That was awesome.
All right, you guys are all together now. They've come back. Everyone seems to be together. No one's taken off. Not Laura either.
So what's the plan?
Um,
What's step 2?
Alexi, we're gonna need the stone that you're carrying, so we can. I've already given the other one to Lady Ventura for safekeeping, as we planned. We just need to get her yours, and then we are going to be heading to the town of Fair to meet back up with the Lady Aurora, to find out some more about Dark Sun's champions that we had already heard about that came back with him at the behest of Hades. And they are apparently the embodiment of 7 sins for Silk that make her a dark being. And so we're going to have to either destroy them, or most likely destroy them, or convince them to somehow voluntarily withdraw from the service of. I'm not even sure. We're gonna have to find out from Lady Aurora. I don't know how they would voluntarily withdraw from being a sin to Silk and how that all works. We're gonna have to find out more about that in Fair, and then from what we know, they're all in the north, and that's where we're gonna be heading. So
yeah,
Great.
the queen indicated that each of the sins, as we destroy or remove each one of them, it will make Silk more pure, taking away the parts of her that are evil, or releasing that evil from her so she can be free.
and they were put there by Hades. They're not an inherent part of her nature that we would be removing. For
We
the Silk
would literally
followers.
be freeing her to be something different than she has ever been.
Now, Shimigo, you're saying Hades has control over my goddess.
He is in
Influence.
the purpose of the stones is to gain complete control over her. But these champions exercise some control over her, and they keep some of her aspects in check, from what I understand. I'm not sure how much is free will versus not. She clearly seems able to work against these things, thus asking us to join with you. So the control is not yet complete, but that is in keeping with what she asked of us, to help us stop Hades and his plot so that she is not bound. And that seems to be in keeping with the mission that you have all signed on for. And as I am now bound, not just in my oath to you, but bound by family and blood, as it were, I too feel that it's important that we see this through and remove as many of these evils from her as we possibly can.
So you're saying the goddess Silk will be affected by the 7 sins?
Yes.
From what we've learned, they influence her nature, how she acts, her decisions. They bring out the more dark side of her nature. Hades, because that's how Hades wants her to behave. So we need to remove that and bring about her true self, her natural inclinations.
By that means we would have to get all 7 too, because if we left 1 or 2, she would be more prone to those sins.
I don't feel being incomplete would be safe, to answer your question.
Yeah.
And even if we were to do so, there may be some calculation as to which sins we handle first versus last.
Yeah, maybe we'll be able to gain some direction in what might be the most pertinent sins to address first from Lady Aurora. But as we get more information, then we can make that decision. But there may be a pecking order of which ones we want to try to remove first.
Understanding a hierarchy would be a good idea.
So we wish to remove Wrath first, is what you're saying?
I would prefer her not to be angry.
Or not?
That would be a good thing.
Very well. Cousin?
I believe also we should be gathering as much information on the 9 that we can. Obviously, they're aware of us. They're knowledgeable about where we are and what we're doing. And there are rumors going around the court that they are hunting us in a well, the best phrase is hell-bent manner. Sounds like they are dedicated to capturing or destroying us. We need more information about how to avoid them or confront them.
Does Zender know anything about
the advice I was given to escape the fate of my predecessor was to stick close to our new paladin friends. So Zindrid, hey pal, we're gonna be becoming good friends because I'm keeping you in sight.
So who are these 9 and why can't we kill them?
Yeah. They are every court has a knight. There's the summer knight, the winter knight, who is Sir Loris. Autumn, spring have their knights. The Queen of Air and Darkness, instead of having one knight as a group, the Knights of the 9, they're undead knights that are very formidable. We've had some interactions with them in the past.
So they are already dead.
Second, they are already dead.
We cannot kill them. I destroy the undead all the time.
That's why we were told to stick close to you. You have the tools to get the job done.
I am on record as saying they've already proven they can be defeated once. We just need to find the way to do it a second time.
I am guessing that the first time they did not have the same range of abilities that they have now, but I'm sure we can take them. It's just preparation, place and time, as
choosing your battlefield, always a wise decision.
Yes, as a smart man once said to me, preparation to the art of knowing how to handle that which is coming, and tactics is the art of knowing what to do when it gets there. And we're going to figure out what to do when we face them next.
The battle hymns also say that
drop a fireball when you don't know what to do.
We're going to add that passage.
Mini Drow, subscribe to that same school of thinking.
It is a universal.
Fireball, the universal language. Awesome.
Yeah. Oh, I lost my thought.
Sorry, I apologize.
A special passage in the Hymn of Firebrand. Just drop a
Yeah.
fireball. So
Oh, the battle hymns. They say knowledge of your enemy, about knowledge of your enemy. That weakness is not in equipment, it is in the heart of each person on a battlefield. Knowing that weakness, even as their power grows, what's in their heart rarely changes. So their weaknesses will remain. They can gain other weaknesses, they can lose some weaknesses along the way, but their true weakness, the hubris that they used that caused them to fall in the first place, that always remains. If we know how they were beaten the first time, we will have insight as to how we can use that to beat them the second time.
I will tell you, Zindred, that they are led by Sir Goswell, who you've already seen. That's the one that was speaking for them when we recently met. And of note, out of the 9, for myself, because well, it offers the biggest threat to me, is that Sir Hollowheart can make is extra deadly to spellcasters like myself. When I cast a spell, he can take action before others can. I can give you the rest of their names if you care to know them.
Well, one can never know too much about one's enemies, so if you wouldn't mind, absolutely. Or if you wouldn't mind just jotting them down.
Sure.
So
Jean is telling me
Yeah.
that the 9 are like liches. Apparently, even if we manage to kill one of them, the Queen of Air and Darkness can somehow regenerate him, and they'll retain their their knowledge before they died.
And is that instantaneous, or will that take time?
Friend. You keep saying John. Who is John?
Jean is a spirit that has been bonded to me. He's a sprite who is both a friend, partner, and assistant.
I see.
okay. And can anyone else see this, Jean?
If he wishes to let them.
Some drow suffer from that malady as well.
Everyone looks at Laura. He just ignores everyone.
She's like, who, me?
He's able to travel long distances, and he and I can communicate over those distances telepathically. So he's an excellent messenger, an excellent spy, does very good at keeping a watch on us in a way that is unexpected to our enemies. He's an invaluable companion.
Fantastic.
And he wants you to know that he is very brave.
The bravest.
I'm sure he is. She was looking slightly quizzical, as though she's trying to accept what you're saying, but also not certain you're not half mad. We're all mad.
You've got it.
Nashimi shares your sentiments.
I would say he's very similar to what a wizard would call a familiar.
Ah, okay.
But-
I can understand that.
but
Not an
to
imaginary
me-
companion.
Well, no, not imaginary. Otherwise, we've been dealing with some very unexpected information from a source that we have no idea then. But no, not imaginary. He helped us originally make contact with the summer court here, leading us through the Feywild. So I couldn't have done that without him.
No. Thanks, John.
And before we leave, would I be able to get somebody that's around to get my friends here, Caspius and Bell and Vax, to just so I could check in with them, let them know I'm still alive. Say hi.
You want to go leave to go say hi?
No, I was gonna see if there was somebody here I could send, and I'll probably get somebody to go do it.
Oh yeah, you're the summer knight. You can tell.
Yeah, I figure I could probably,
You can boss around.
without taking advantage of my title. Yeah, to say but I'm sure I could get somebody to do it for me.
Within about 20 minutes, though, one of them will come back and go, "I'm sorry, they seem to be out on a mission."
Well, I'm sure it's important.
You're serving the queen. It's always important, Sir Knight. May I do anything else for you?
No, if
May I clean your shoes?
no, they're good. And I snap and use prestidigitation to instantly have them clean.
Very good, shiny knight.
If you see them when they get back, and you tell them that I said hi and that I'm still alive.
But of course, you're the new summer knight.
Thank you.
Good luck against the Knights of Nine.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Not a problem.
Indeed. You won't lose your head like the last one.
Yeah. News of that traveled fast, huh?
Well, it was just outside the forest, you know?
Yeah. All right, I'll do my best. I like it where it is.
I bet the queen does too.
His friends are fairly fond of it that way as well.
We are fond of it too. Would you like us to put braids in your nice head?
Nope, I'm good, thanks. Yeah,
One
I like to
braid.
keep it.
Would you like a hat?
One
I don't-
braid.
Nope, I'm good. Okay, fine. One
Would you
braid.
like, would you
Take
like
one
a
braid.
collar to perhaps make it so they won't see your neck, so they will chop it with
With a W on it to protect
I
my
thought-
neck.
no
Protect thy neck.
a scarf. Would you like a scarf so they are not wish to chop your head?
No, I'm good. Thanks, buddy.
Scarf made of
We're-
human.
we got-
Long scarf.
We have business.
One braid.
A red scarf. One braid?
One braid. Give him one braid.
On the top
Alright.
of his head.
Yep. Just
So
one.
call it a douche knot.
No knots. You can give me Willie Nelson, 2 Willie Nelson braids.
All right. You have now Willie Nelson braids.
Now the problem with that is now that they have something to hang on to when they're chopping your head off to put it on a stick.
Ooh.
Okay, take them out. Don't do them.
Okay, braids are out, and they give you the scarf.
No, he needs the braid. And put in something special, specifically of the Feywild, and braid that in.
All right, they give you a braid with a flower in it. Yellow.
Why are we doing our hair?
Well, I know. It's like ladies' night.
HK will lean over to Zendrid, because if all of your people know it, it should be something we can follow should we be separated. It's an identifier.
She's just kind of blinking at you. Are you joking?
No,
It's hard to tell.